Hey guys, welcome back to another review on the channel. Today I'll be reviewing Don't Fall With a Phantom, which is the 8th and final episode of Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? And yeah, next week you'll see my overall ranking for Scooby-Doo, Where Are You Season 2. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy, and yeah, let's get straight into the review.
Scooby-Doo, where are you?
The episode opens up as we see the kids performing at Johnny's Hand's little dance routine show. We see Daphne and Fred performing, and then Shaggy and Scooby go out to perform, doing their taffy twist. And the gang is speaking to like the manager of the whole thing. But then the lights go out, and this mysterious wax phantom appears on stage and scares everyone, and then the lights go back off again, and he's gone. Now the gang run backstage and they find Johnny tied up in this room, and the bank safe's been unlocked and all the money has been stolen. Now they think Mr. Rogers, the TV manager, has been taken. So they go to try and notify like the sheriff, but unfortunately for their sake, they can't, because Johnny thinks that, it'd be bad publicity, even worse publicity for the show, seeming it's already getting some pretty bad publicity. He tells them that this mysterious guy who was banned from the show said he'd make his revenge by making the wax phantom to destroy the whole show, and then they decide to go find him, and his name is Mr. Grisby. So the gang split up. Velma, Daphne, and Scooby go out to check Mr. Grisby's house. It's very, very, very spooky. Anyways, while they're inside, they find out some pretty valuable information from Mr. Grisby. He tells them that he knew about how the wax phantom attacked the TV station, and he's got his crystal ball with him, which he can apparently see the future in, and or the present, and yeah, he was the one who, of course, made his black magic to send the wax phantom to destroy the TV station. Then they quickly go to warn Daphne and Fred, who are going to the museum, and when they go inside, they find some creepy wax figures, and then the wax phantom locks them in so they can't get out. Then the wax phantom chases them around the little museum, and then Shaggy, Scooby, and Velma are trying to get inside the museum, but because the wax phantom locked it from the inside, they can't get in, so they get boosted through a window, and after a couple little hijinks with a couple of pranks from the wax phantom, they end up, Shaggy and Scooby end up inside this little Egyptian mummy case, and then once they come out, Scooby spots an airline ticket, and obviously someone's dropped it, and they believe it's the wax phantom, because who else would be in the museum when it's locked up? Anyways, they split up again. Shaggy and Scooby go one way, and we see Daphne, Fred, and Velma, and they get trapped by the wax phantom, and they can't get out. They're stuck in the bottom of this little pit. Shaggy and Scooby are now at this little dining place. They're trying to eat the food there, but the food's wax. Then the wax phantom jumps them, and he chases them into this mysterious upside down room. Now, after a while, they eventually trick the wax phantom to come out the other way. But the wax phantom ended up tricking them, and he grabs them. Then we cut back to Velma, Daphne, and Fred, who are still looking for a way out. Velma opens a secret little compartment, and out bobs the the cash bag from the TV station safe. So yeah, pretty important clue they found there. Then they hear Shaggy and Scooby through this little well, Velma opens the secret door, and then they're walking through and they end up at this little ventilator, and then they spot the Wax Phantom with Shaggy and Scooby tied up, and Daphne, luckily, Danger Prone Daphne accidentally falls onto the control lever, and luckily for their case, it reversed it, and they crash into the Wax Phantom and they're able to get away. Then the Wax Phantom chases after Shaggy and Scooby again, and Daphne, Fred, and Velma quickly run after the Phantom. And then this is the chase song, or the soundtrack for this episode. It's called Pretty Mary's Sunlight, which is a pretty cool song. And yeah, this is playing on while the Wax Phantom's still chasing after Scooby and Shaggy. They dress up in costumes. They hide behind the costume rack to try and get away from the Wax Phantom. There was this really, really cool scene where Shaggy and Scooby trap the Wax Phantom in this wax mold, and they paint a door, and the Wax Phantom accidentally runs into the door, which was a really, really funny scene, concluding the soundtrack, which I thought was a pretty good one.
Now where'd they go?
That way. The Phantom is after them.
Then we better go after the Phantom. Come on!
Pretty Mary Sunlight, she's alright with me. Pretty Mary Sunlight, everything I need. Some people sit around and watch the world go by. Just don't know the fun they're missing. People seem to be happy, and sometimes they ask me why. I tell them girls are made for kissing. I don't need to look around. I'm in heaven since I found my Pretty Mary Sunlight. Turned inside today. Pretty Mary Sunlight, never going away. Some people spend their whole lives chasing after dreams. Dreams I guess they never will believe in. Playing foolish games, inventing fairy tales and building fantasies that will deceive them. I don't need to look around. I'm in heaven, since I found my Pretty Mary Sunlight. She's alright with me. Pretty Mary Sunlight, everything I need. Come on, Pretty Mary Sunlight,
Anyway, then Shaggy and Scooby quickly get yanked out the side and saved by Fred, Daphne, and Velma. And then Fred's going to explain his plan. He's going to use the waxworks for his trap. Velma will be hiding behind the crates. Daphne will be hiding behind the door to lock the Wax Phantom in. Shaggy and Scooby are going to give, they're going to be on like little skates, and are going to roll over to the little Wax Fountain, where Fred will give him his own waxing. So he's going to be trapped in his own wax stuff. Anyways, Shaggy and Scooby don't really agree to the plan, and they trick Fred, Daphne, and Velma able to get away. But unfortunately for them, while they are trying to get away, they spot the Wax Phantom, and they run back to the trap. Daphne locks the door, just like the trap was planned. Velma was on top of the crate. She dropped the crate on the Wax Phantom, and once he gets out of it, he chases after Shaggy and Scooby, who are on their little skates. And then Fred releases the wax machine, but accidentally traps Scooby and Shaggy in the wax as well. Anyways, then they call the sheriff because they've got the Wax Phantom trapped. and yeah, then Fred quickly unmasks Shaggy and Scooby, freeing them, and then he unmasks the Wax Phantom. The Wax Phantom ends up to be the station manager, the TV station manager, Mr. Rogers, and yeah, his plan was to dress up as the Wax Phantom and scare away everyone, so then he could use the airline ticket to fly over to South America or Brazil with his little airline ticket, and he could get away with all that money. And he knew that he was able to use the museum for a little hideout, and also blame everything on Mr. Grisby. And then at the end of the episode, we see Shaggy and Scooby, who have made wax dummies of themselves that they both look alike. And Fred makes a pretty funny joke on how they're going to tell them apart, thinking Shaggy and Scooby are both dummies. Pretty much roasting them pretty bad there to conclude the episode. And to conclude, Scooby-Doo, where are you?
Hey, you're chipping them down to regular size. Mr. Roger Stevens, the TV station manager.
And I wish you'd have minded your own business.
Well, in this case, it's police business. Like we thought old Waxy was really a ghost. Or at least old Grisby was behind it.
No, Shaggy. That's just what Stevens wants us to think, while he escapes to South America with all the money he embezzled. Sure. Stevens knew of old Grisby's threat to bring the Wax Phantom to life.
So he used the Phantom disguise. Then Grisby would be blamed for everything, including Stevens' disappearance. I'll take him now, kids. Thanks.
So yeah, that's the end of the episode. I give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. Definitely not my favourite, especially not out of Season 2. The Wax Phantom was a pretty average villain, to be honest. He did do a lot of good stuff, which is why he definitely does get better, but I don't really like the design of him. It is really just like this big 7 to 8 foot tall waxless shape. It didn't really make sense as well how his costume worked. I would have liked to see that, but unfortunately, Fred trapped him in the wax, and in the end, it's like the wax on wax got trapped, and it didn't really make sense. But then again, it probably wasn't going to make sense if we did see that in the reveal. The characters that we saw at the start, like Johnny, was pretty cool. It would have been cooler to see him maybe not tag along with the gang. But maybe would have been a little bit better to see him maybe at the end when they caught the Phantom. But yeah, that's just a minor little thing. Mr. Grisby was really, really cool. And yeah, Mr. Rogers was a pretty good villain. Pretty obvious that it was him though. I don't normally say that in my reviews, but it was pretty obvious that it was him. Again, stealing money, not the best plot, doesn't really get any bonus marks there. The episode was pretty cool. It did get spooky at times. Would have been better if it was a little bit more spooky though, I guess. Because, Scooby-Doo are after some pretty high quality spookiness. And Scooby-Doo are definitely delivers that. This one could have delivered a little bit more. Quickly about the chase song, I thought it was pretty cool. Definitely not my favourite. Not my least favourite either, kind of in the middle. But I definitely do like it. The soundtrack can get stuck in your head if you listen to it quite a bit, that's for sure. And yeah, look, it's still a pretty cool episode. It's one that, in my opinion, I watched this episode quite a bit. I guess that's the main reason why that's the case, is because I only probably the last Scooby-Doo Where Are You episode I watched. So I watched it quite a bit. And yeah, I always enjoy the chase song. Anyway, I'm blabbering about random stuff that's got nothing really to do with the episode. I still hope you enjoyed the episode, but yeah, stay tuned for next week, where I'll be doing my Season 2 ranking overall. I do have a little ranking already on the channel of my favourite episodes in order of Scooby-Doo Are You. So yeah, go check that out if you haven't. And yeah, stay tuned for my next video on the channel soon.
To you, Velma.
Where's Shag and Scoob? They were right over here.
Oh!
Look, it's opening.
My God! in to see my mummy. Conveyor belt into the wax routine. Oh, no. Like that went out with the silent movies, Phantom old pal. Problem. How to tell one pair of dummies from the other.